Thank you for joining us today. As you saw, we are recording the meeting today. And we ask that you keep yourself muted to avoid any background noise. And there'll be time at the end for questions and answers. A little bit about our presenters today. We have Christy Davis, who is our United Way Donor Relations Manager, Nick Kesmerick, who is from the Foundations of Kaleida Health and is part of our Next Generation United, Mary Kate Loftus from M&T Bank, who is part of our Women United, myself. I am a Senior Account Executive at United Way, Suzette O'Brien, who is the United Way Volunteer Center Manager, Elizabeth Parks, who is a United Way Account Executive, Heather Quigley, who is United Way Account Executive, and Michaela Vance, who is our Resource Development Team Assistant, will be handling the chat box. So if you have questions throughout, please feel free to put them in the chat box, and Michaela will help to answer those. So welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. We really appreciate your time, and we appreciate you. You're part of this group that is an amazing group of people who are what we call United Way champions within their workplaces and in our community. So we really wanted to take the time to say how much we appreciate you. And we know that COVID has really changed the way that we live our lives and the way that we engage in our community. COVID's disrupted our workplaces. It's disrupted the ways we work together, the way we communicate, the way we engage with each other. And it's going to continue to change. We know that the inequities within our society are really, really clear. They're becoming clearer than ever. And so we went to the community, our donors, our customers, our agencies, and we used the data that we got and the feedback that we received to create an updated, what we refer to as a year-round engagement calendar and engagement opportunities for folks. So to start us out today, I'm going to turn the conversation over to Mary Kate Loftus, who is going to talk a little bit about our Women United.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties with Mary Kate and Rima. So
okay, so I will handle the Women United piece then. So Women United is a giving community where we offer opportunities for women who are giving at the $250 level to United Way, the opportunity to get involved in various things, various events that help to bring folks together and to bring women together in our community. The opportunities that are built within that are things like opportunities to network with women, opportunities to build relationships with agencies that provide programs to young women, opportunities to get groups of women together to either do volunteer opportunities like Western New York Girls in Sports, or to host opportunities to raise money to give back to programs in our community that focus on young women. And so there are many opportunities for folks to get involved and to be engaged through our Women United. Is Nick on the call? Nick Kesmerick? I apologize. I apologize, folks. We are having some difficulties with some of the folks. Next Generation United is another giving community that we have that offers the opportunity for the next generation, the younger folks who are up and coming leaders within their companies, to get involved with United Way. Next Generation United, we ask folks at a giving level of $75 for the year, and it offers opportunities for them to engage through volunteer work, to engage with each other in networking opportunities. And there are also opportunities built into that giving community that are designed for professional development. And so we offer that. We will share additional information with you once we get the folks online here. Moving on to our Tophill Society, Christy Davis. Sounds like Christy is also having some difficulties getting into the call. Our Tophill Society is a giving community of large donors in our community. And there are folks that are giving at the $10,000 level or more. And the engagement opportunities here are really around networking and giving back to the community at a higher level. And so we will be sure to make sure that you get additional information on these 3 giving communities after the call. Next, I'd like to turn it over to Elizabeth Parks. I apologize, Liz. She's going to share a little bit about Lead with Purpose.
Thanks, April. So Lead with Purpose partners with UWBEC to United Way of Buffalo and Erie County. I slipped into United Way jargon for a second. To recruit and develop teams of community ambassadors within Buffalo and Erie County's leading organizations who use their knowledge and skills to further their company's philanthropic and corporate social responsibility goals. For companies, participating with Lead with Purpose is an investment in the development of community-minded employees who contribute to the stability and growth of our region, while growing their own leadership and team-building skills to help their organization succeed. Corporate social responsibility is linked to higher job satisfaction, reduced employee turnover, and increased consumer loyalty. We help participants build their knowledge of not only our community's most critical needs, but the work of United Way. Lead with Purpose provides participants with professional development, leadership training, and year-round engagement opportunities, while also increasing their insight into the work of United Way's most critical needs. Our programming includes Lead with Purpose 1.0, which includes a presentation about servant leadership and building an understanding of our community's most critical needs. We then offer Corporate Connections, where we exchange best practices for employee engagement and workplace giving. And then we have Lead with Purpose 2.0. These topics change from season to season, so these topics are related to corporate social responsibility and employee engagement primarily. Lead with Purpose participants apply what they have learned to engage their organization's employees through giving, advocacy, and volunteering. We are proudly supported by Lawley Insurance, Mlk, and the Center of Leadership and Organizational Effectiveness at UB. And some of our current participants include, but are not limited to, Wegmans, Independent Health, TapeCon, Geico, Bank of America, and Univera. If you have any more information, you can contact me. I'll share my contact information in the chat.
Thank you so much, Liz. Excuse me, for sharing a little bit more about our Lead with Purpose program. Next, we'd like to talk about year-round engagement opportunities that we have, and we're going to turn it over to Suzette O'Brien.
Thank you, April. Hi, everybody. I'm Suzette O'Brien. I am the manager of community engagement at United Way, and I recognize a lot of your names on here that I've worked with in the past. So we have many different year-round engagement opportunities, and I know some of you are familiar with them. The first is our Business Meets Community program. And we developed this about 12 or 13 years ago now. And this came out of, with our Day of Caring, which I know all of you are familiar with, which was our largest single one-day volunteer event annually that we had. And we probably had about 2,500 people participate in Day of Caring, which were teams of employees from companies. And every year, we always had a waiting list of companies that wanted to get involved. And then there were a lot of companies that simply couldn't participate that day because of their work schedule wouldn't allow them to go that day. Or the timing just didn't work out for them. So we always had lots of company teams that wanted to volunteer with only that one opportunity. So we created Business Meets Community, which is year round, and companies can contact us any day of the year looking for a volunteer project. And I work with them directly. I act as the liaison between the company company and the agencies that we work with in the community. So we talk with the lead person who's leading the team at the company, with how many folks they have that want to volunteer, when are they looking to volunteer. Some may say just, oh, sometime in August, sometime in the fall, while others have a very specific day that they want to volunteer. What type of volunteer engagement are you looking for? How many employees will you have volunteering, and how long would you like to volunteer? You know, whether it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours. And so then I work with our agencies, find a project that suits the team, come back and review it with them.
Did we lose Suzette? It looks like
to volunteer. I'm sorry, did somebody say something?
we lost you for a moment there, Suzette.
Oh, am I back?
Yes.
Okay. Did I miss anything critical, April?
If you could back up just, you know, a few sentences, that would be great.
Okay, sure. So we find a project that suits the team at the company. I'll come back and review it with the team. 9 times out of 10, it'll fit everything they were looking for. If not, I'll go back and find something else. We provide all of the information to both sides, both the agency and the company, introduce them to one another via email. And then the day of the project, the team will show up, and the lead person at the agency opens up talking with them about their agency partnership with United Way, the importance of community engagement, the work of United Way in the community. And then our account executive at United Way, who works with that particular company on their United Way campaign, will come out to the project and visit to thank everybody. And in the case of Heather, oftentimes Heather will jump in and actually help volunteer, help out with the project. And a few others have done that as well. And we'll take pictures with the company's permission to give a thank you shout out on our social media. So it's just a wonderful way for companies, individuals within companies, to touch the work of United Way and get involved with us. And it's also a great team building opportunity for the company. It's one of our most robust programs that we have at United Way. With COVID, obviously this was put on pause for about a year, where, you know, really people were not volunteering in person, and agencies could not accept in-person volunteers, with the exception of Feed More and the food pantries in the community, because obviously that was a critical need. Agencies have begun to open up and are accepting in-person volunteers and teams, and lots of companies are starting to look for those opportunities. At this point right now, United Way is acting as a resource between the two, but in the fall, we will be moving back to our traditional way of doing business meets community, where we'll actually be setting up those projects. Service to Go is an arm of Business Meets Community that was created about 3 years ago. And that is actually a series of hands-on projects that can be done at the workplace site, on site, or, you know, lots of colleges do them. We have church groups, anyone who wants to do them. We even had a number of individuals throughout COVID that did them. And they are projects such as a really popular one that we have pre-COVID, and we'll get back to it. Actually, Heather has a company doing it next week. It's called the Sandwich Project, and it's making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that go to our agencies that work with the unsheltered homeless. And it just involves them buying lots of bread and peanut butter and jelly, and having teams, and, you know, wearing hairnets and gloves, and making hundreds of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, putting them in Ziploc bags into boxes, and then they go to whichever agency the company team chooses for them to go. And this is a really huge need, and the agencies are so grateful for receiving these. We have Birthday in a Bag, which is creating a birthday party in a box for children who are living in transitional housing shelters, and if they happen to have a birthday while they're living in a shelter, because the last thing that a mom can do for their child while they're in that situation is to give them a birthday party. There's several others, and anyone who wants to contact me after this, I can share all of the information about these programs. And then finally, we have a wonderful website called volunteerwesternnewyork.org, where we have hundreds and hundreds of volunteer opportunities posted with, I think we have over 500 agencies right now registered on the site that post their volunteer opportunities throughout the year. We partner with the Service Collaborative in hosting this site. It's free for the user, it's free for the agencies, it's very easy to navigate. So it's a great resource to find volunteer opportunities, and there's lots of stuff on there for individuals as well as teams looking for things to do. So that was a lot of information, I know. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, I'm going to put my email in the chat box, so if anybody wants to contact me after this, I'm happy to answer any questions or have a phone call. Thanks, April.
Thank you so much, Suzette. I appreciate your time today. We have managed to navigate through some of our technical difficulties here. So we do have Mary Kate and Nick joining us. So what I would like to do, because we have a few minutes in our time, is to go back to the two community giving communities and give them each a few moments to talk about Women United and Next Generation United. So I am going to have Mary Kate join us first to share a little bit more about Women United, more than the brief overview I gave a moment ago. Mary Kate?
Hello, and it's so nice to be here. If April, if you can pass me control, I'm happy to share. I do have a little summary I can pull up on the screen to help people follow along. And if not, I can talk to it. That's okay too. So hello, everyone. My name is Mary Kate Loftus. I am a Senior Vice President at M&T Bank. I oversee our digital experiences for the bank. But most importantly, the reason I'm here is to tell you about Women United. Women United is an amazing organization. It's a leadership society within the United Way. I've had the pleasure of being a volunteer and a participant in Women United for several years now, since its formation, actually. And have gone back, volunteering with the United Way all the way back to the early 2000s. So it really is, I believe, just so fundamental to our community. I'm going to attempt to share the screen very quickly so I can pull this up. Let's see if this works. Oh, looks like we're going to be just fine. And hopefully, can everybody see that all right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, great. Excellent. So I am the co-chair, along with Laura Dolan, of the Women United Advisory Board. And the Women United Leadership Society and Advisory Board is here to help bring just phenomenal, strong women leaders from across Western New York together to really lean in and make a difference to our mission. And what the Women United mission is to uplift individuals and families in Buffalo and Erie County. Our members inspire, educate, and motivate others through philanthropy, leadership, and volunteerism. So I'll first tell you a little bit about who Women United, how we show up in the community, and then I'll tell you a little bit about our events. So we are more than 1,300 women strong, which is a really brings together women that are like-minded, community focused individuals. We invest more than $2 million in our community each year. We've granted $60,000 to deserving agencies in our community. We've led over 1,600 girls through the Western New York Girls in Sports program, and I've been a volunteer in this, and I have to tell you, it is absolutely very, very cool to see women together coming to show young girls what they can accomplish, give them exposure to things they've never seen before, and to be able to connect with others in the community. Really, it's all about confidence building and experiences. We delivered thousands of baby bundles to mothers in need. And I even went back and pulled the numbers. We had 1,100 baby bundles that were created just this past spring. I mean, so this is real impact that we have. And then we bring joy to local children and families every holiday season. We partner with the Child and Family Services Adopt a Family program. And, I've seen women leaning into whether it's wrap the gifts, coordinate donations, and having it all come together to help children at the holiday season. And it's really an amazing gift for us as volunteers, but also for the community. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our events. I'm going to scroll down here. So you can see, so these are our 2021 opportunities to get involved. Every single one of these events are really unique. I mean, they bring together different people, and it depends on as well, like where each person's individual interests lie to see what makes sense for them to engage in. So in March, we had a really interesting stimulating conversation for Women's History Month. It was a virtual panel event, bringing together leaders from across our community to talk about the challenges women face in the, in day to day, and how we can all lead in new ways. In April and May, we had our community baby shower, which I mentioned. We now have a committee that is working on our Gateway to Golf, which helps women really build confidence and be able to come together to learn how they can be able to proceed in their career through connections and networking through golf. We also have our early childhood care collection, which is happening right now. We're getting started. We're collecting donations. And then we have our holiday volunteering at the end of the year. Next year, March, looking forward, we are going to have a new event, Women Who Care, for Women's History Month. And we're in the planning of that right now. That about sums up Women United in a nutshell. I'm not sure if there's other folks here who would like to lean in and kind of share their stories about Women's United. If anyone wants to jump in.
Thank you so much, Mary Kate. And I apologize that we had some technical difficulties, but we're glad that you were able to join us. Next, I'd like to turn it over to Nick Kesmerick, who is going to talk a little bit about our Next Generation United. I see you, Nick. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. I also have a quick little slide, nothing quite as robust as Mary Kate, so JV over here, but if you don't mind letting me share, that would be super as well. Thank you. All righty. There we go. Just wanted to show everyone, this is just our, drop slide shows our mission. And basically our meat and potatoes, which is a pitch tent event, which is that photo that you're seeing there. I'll get to that in a second. But good morning. Thanks everyone for bearing with us as technology got the better of us. We've been doing this for a long time, but it always finds new ways to trip us up. As I said, my name is Nicholas Kesmerick. I am a graphic designer. I work for Kaleida Health at Oishei Children's Hospital, and I am the co-chair for Next Generation United. Similar to Mary Kate, it's a 2 leadership position, and Next Generation United is a leadership community in the United Way that is focusing on the rising generations of philanthropic leaders. So right now, that looks like a lot of millennials with like a little sliver of Gen Z. But obviously that's why we're called Next Generation and not Millennials United, because we are not just focusing on the young professionals today, but tomorrow and years later. Our goal is to connect young professionals with philanthropic opportunities in our community, noticing that, as I'm sure we all know, being here in the room, that philanthropy is moving on from just signing over a check to an organization, and that's your connection. More and more people are in any generation, but specifically the younger the generations are, really want tangible connections to the organizations they're supporting, be that volunteering opportunities, events, serving on boards, whatever have you. They want to be involved more than just that check or that donation. And so NGU's mission and vision is to kind of bring that together. So bring the organizations that need support with the young professionals that want to support them, and boom, we have NGU. So similarly, we have a lot of initiatives that go on throughout the year. We've had, honestly, a really tough year in the pandemic. We didn't realize this at the time, but NGU is quite an in-person kind of organization. We do a lot with people in real life, as that photo shows. So it was fun to get creative in the past year, and we did have some great wins. But we're looking forward to a year that hopefully coming in 2022, where we can get some of our marquee events and big, times together back. As I said in the beginning, one of our main events is Pitch 10. And Pitch 10 is just what it sounds like. It's a pitching event where instead of businesses pitch to venture capitalists for funding, nonprofits pitch to a community of their peers at an event for one of 3 to 5, depending on the year, prizes and grants to help they extend their mission. So it's a really beautiful event where you get like the fun excitement of like a pitch competition, but it's applied to something really good, like bettering our community through these organizations. It's a pretty long, rigorous process to get our 10 finalists to pitch on the stage. It involves months of lead time, working with organizations to submit the RFPs for our board, as well as some additional volunteers to help sift through those applications, narrow it down to semifinalists. The semifinalists work with business leaders, like a lot of you in the room may have even already participated, and are able to work with them to really better their pitch and really deliver their message. For a lot of people, this is the first time they're speaking to a large audience about their passion and what they're doing to improve the community. And so we help to make that as best as it possibly can be, and hopefully that takes them long beyond Pitch 10 and into conversations in other rooms and other boards and other groups that looking to give them funding and looking to give help with their resources and their mission as well. So that kind of all leads up to this culmination, our marquee event, which is Pitch 10, which is 1 part party and 5 parts feel good, helping organizations succeed and reach their goals. So that's always a really good time. Obviously, we had to cancel ours. It's normally a fall event. It did not happen last year. It's not going to be happening this year, but we are excited to bring it back in late spring, early summer of 2022. Barring all goes well and smoothly over the next few months, we are excited to do that. If you want to learn more about that, I'll also drop my email into the chat, or also you can join and get updates from our monthly newsletter on the link in the slide that you see. Beyond Pitch 10, we do a lot of things throughout the year where we try to, with kind of mini versions, we called Next Generation Uncorked, which is a elevated happy hour where we bring in one organization. It might be a previous Pitch 10 or a new organization that just popped up in Buffalo, whatever have you, and they present for a little bit while also mingling in a happy hour style with our membership. We are a little bit newer. I should have started earlier with this. We are a little bit newer than Women United, so our membership is a little on the smaller side, not quite in the thousands, but we're going to get there. I am determined by the end of my term as co-chair that we will hit 4 digits. I hope Rima heard that and maybe didn't write it down, but that's okay. We'll get to that. And we're around 600 strong right now. We've had, I believe, we're up to 5 Pitch 10s, which means nearly 20, if not more, organizations have been poured into through Pitch 10 with various grant sizes from anywhere from $5,000 to $1,000, and just able to really run with that. We've heard great success stories and are excited with what's to come as we continue to unfold. So yeah, if you yourselves, your business you're representing, your organizations are interested in becoming a member or of Next Generation United or being more involved with us, I'll throw my email into Slack. Or I'm sorry, this is whatever virtual tool we're using right now, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Nick, for joining us today. And thanks for working through the technical difficulties with us.
My pleasure.
All right, I'm going to pull my screen back up here so that I can bring us back to our presentation. Of course, it's frozen. Gotta love technology. I want to turn it over to Heather Quigley, and she is going to talk about the seasonal engagement opportunities that we have. So I'm going to turn it over to Heather to begin talking.
You want me to share my screen?
I'm going to have
Sorry.
Liz take over so that you can keep talking. Liz, if you could take over sharing the screen, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. Thank you, Liz. Welcome, everybody. I'm Heather Quigley, an account executive here at United Way. And the first slide we're looking at here is our seasonal engagement opportunities. So as you're looking at your year-round calendars and seeing what kind of activities you would like to engage with your employees, here's some great ideas. I'm going to start in Q3 because that's where we are right now. As Women United mentioned, our early childhood supply drive is up and running. This is a great way to support children in that preschool age, getting them ready to learn so that they're ready to start off with their educational career. More information to come about that. But this is a collection opportunity. It's also an educational opportunity, learning about the needs of children in our community and engaging your employees by bringing in board books, pull-ups, all kinds of fun things. Also coming up in September, we are going to be recruiting volunteers for our investment process. This is an amazing way for individuals to get involved with United Way and really help us, review those applications for funding and make sure that we're putting our the donors' dollars in the most priority places in the community that are going to have the biggest impact and hopefully, changing community conditions moving forward. More to come about the volunteer investment volunteers, but this is something we want a nice range of folks involved. We want people with lived experience. We want people with special expertise in certain areas, and anybody in our community really can get involved, and that's what it's all about. This really embodies living united, the whole community coming together to decide where we need to put those most vital resources. So that's coming up right about now. Then we're going to move into Q4. We have Over the Edge, which I hope everyone has heard about. This is a one-time special event where we have volunteers who are going to be individually fundraising and then rappelling off a 20-story building downtown. So this is super exciting. There's a Toss the Boss option as well, which a lot of companies I know are having a lot of fun raising funds around that. But again, this is an opportunity where anyone can get involved and be a part of this fundraiser and draw attention. One, to our partnership, one with Children's Hospital, because this is a joint effort between United Way and Children's Hospital. And the funds raised are going to be going into eliminating the disparities in healthcare. We want to make sure that every baby, every adult, everybody is getting equal access to the best healthcare possible in our community. So that's an exciting thing to be looking forward to. That's coming up October 1st and 2nd. Then after Over the Edge, we're going to have our Holiday Acts of Service. This is in partnership again with the West Holiday Partnership and the News Neediest Fund. This was an initiative of United Way and the Buffalo News, over 30 years ago now. Which brings all the partners together who are collecting toys for children at the holidays, as well as all the community centers that distribute those toys. We're all working together as a collective, making sure that as many toys get to as many children as possible. There is a secret North Pole in our community and amazing volunteers, we'll call them our elves, who are sorting gifts. Another great way to get involved. And again, there's plenty of volunteer opportunities attached to that Holiday Acts of Service, even through Women United and their wrapping parties. So this is a great way, again, to get involved and incorporate your whole office and work with your colleagues. Q1, moving into the new year, looking forward. We do in January, we have our Mlk Day of Service. There's a lot of volunteer projects around that as well. Many workplaces like to put together backpacks with educational materials, books, all sorts of great resources for children so that they can really celebrate everyone in our community. And then in February, we have what is going to be the world's largest meat raffle ever. coming up. So we would love everyone to get involved with that. Again, last year we were virtual. I think fingers crossed we may be in person this year, but that's all going to, be a variable. We don't know yet. But nonetheless, whether it's live or virtual, it's a hilarious way and fun way for us all to get together. And again, for a good cause, raise funds to invest back in the community, but interact with other people. So it's going to be a great time. And I'm going to end with Q2 as we go into spring and early summer. We know springtime is the community baby shower. So we just want to continue to build that community baby shower because every year we have about 10,000 new babies in our community. 50% of those babies born are born into poverty. So this is a crucial program, making sure not only that new moms and dads have the resources they need to be financially stable, but make sure that they have everything they need to make sure that they have a healthy baby that's getting off to the best possible start. And this should be the greatest celebration our community has, welcoming our newest members and getting them off to the best start because, they are our future and we want to make sure we leave them an amazing place to enhance and grow and learn in. We also have family volunteer season. This is a neat way for folks to get involved. Again, a lot of times we volunteer with our coworkers, which is awesome. Family Volunteer Day, your family could be your coworkers. It could be your friends, and it could also be your immediate family. This is where we offer lots of really neat opportunities to get involved, get your hands dirty, plant some flowers, who knows, helping lots of people. So those are our seasonal engagement opportunities at the moment. We're going to jump to the next slide, which is our year-round community engagement. Now, as Suzette mentioned earlier, we have Business Meets Community, Service to Go, lots of great opportunities in the volunteer realm to get involved, but we also have other opportunities. In the fall, we also do board leadership training. This is an amazing course. We have gone virtual with this event, so you can also learn at your own pace, which is amazing, but prepping people to serve on boards. And those boards are, we have lots of not-for-profits who are always looking for new board members, and it could be all the way to your kids' soccer team, or, they have boards as well. Getting involved in the community in that leadership capacity, board leadership training is for you, so that when you join, you feel prepared to bring the best you can and enhance that board, the organization you're working for. We also have the 21-day Racial Equity Challenge. This is an amazing opportunity to really get a deeper dive into the history of the United States and the experiences that we have gone through as a culture, incorporating some of those things that have traditionally been left out of normal education, so to speak, and really having a deeper understanding about how we got to this place that we are today. Why so many people in our community feel disengaged and are disengaged from helping, build a better life and build a better community. So I recommend the 21-day Racial Equity Challenge for everyone. You can do it as an organization as a whole so that you can go through this collectively. I recommend doing that and then possibly having like a weekly happy hour or lunchtime chat, because many people really would love to talk about what they've learned through this experience. Again, another way to engage with your coworkers in a fresh way, in an authentic human way. So I really encourage this for everyone, but individuals can do this on their own as well. We also, we've always had traditional agency tours where we go and visit an agency and learn about the work that they do. That will still be available, not quite yet, because we, out of respect for the agencies and abundance of, care, we don't want to be interrupting the services they're doing right now, because they are doing more with less. And they need to keep doing what they're doing and helping our folks in our community. So right now, what we're doing are walking tours. We have our first one coming up, so I hope it goes really well. But there are a few different areas in our community where there are clusters of organizations. And it's a quick walk around our community to learn about programs that United Way funds locally on that broader scale. We will be stopping at a couple and hearing from representatives from those organizations to go a little bit deeper into the work that they do. But I think it's going to give people a better idea of the breadth of work that United Way does. Currently, you know, we fund over 90 programs, but we can never get all that information into one presentation. So this is a neat way to get a larger snapshot of the donor investments into the community. We also, Suzette mentioned earlier, Business Meets Community. We also have guest speakers. If you have a particular topic that you think is important, maybe you're concerned, you know, you hear more people talking about mental health in the workplace and what we've all been through in this last year and a half. Perhaps, you know, maybe you're hearing a lot of people talking about caring for their parents or whatever it might be, or even educational needs. We can find a speaker that's going to meet those needs and give you not only access to learning more about those programs, but how to be able to connect people to those programs as well. So guest speakers are available any time of the year, not just at campaign time. And lastly, I'm going to touch on the ALICE experience. Many of you probably have gone through the poverty simulation in the past. For obvious reasons, we're not doing that at the moment. I think it's going to be a while before we get 100 people in a small room. So we have taken the ALICE experience, which is more of a tabletop simulation, and created a virtual version of this. It can be done live or virtually. The feedback so far is virtually is working really great. Basically, folks who are attending this, we put them, we explain who ALICE is. ALICE is an acronym for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. And this represents a portion of our community that lives above the artificially low federal poverty limit. So they're above the federal poverty limit, but they're below the amount it really takes to make ends meet. This is, you know, voices from this community are rarely heard because, again, that federal poverty limit is so low. So this is a way to understand, you know, going through what is it like to budget when you don't have enough to make ends meet. And then we talk about, so there's an interactive experience, and then we talk about what does this look like in our community. So I really recommend this. It's a great prepper for campaigns because if you want to train your team, so they have a little bit more empathy and understanding of the folks that we're helping, amazing experience. So these are things that can be done year round. Now, lastly, how do we make sense of all this information that we've just learned about? We have just thrown a ton of information at everybody, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do I incorporate this into what I do? So on our next slide, I actually had put together a little sample of how you can piece together all this information. You can see I broke this out into quarters because I know most companies do their planning that way. So on the top line in red, we have our seasonal opportunities. So I've applied those in there. You know, if you know, really your organization loves to do collections or wants to do a service to go project or anything around highlighting these topics, whether it's the Mlk Service Day, the community baby shower, our early childhood supply drive, or our upcoming Over the Edge. So those are our seasonal opportunities. Then in education, I kind of picked a few different things. So I've in Q1 focused on the 21-day racial equity challenge. Q2, I was thinking, you know, either agency tour or a service to go project with a guest speaker from an agency that's going to benefit from your volunteer project. Great way to educate and volunteer at the same time. For Q3, I put this Community Champion Summit that we're all engaging in now, making sure that we're getting prepared and that our leaders out there, our ambassadors to United Way, have all the information they need. And then Q4, I put in the ALICE experience. Again, another great way to educate folks on the needs in our community. Volunteering, I know you guys are all old hats at this, but I, again, chose something different for each quarter. Service to go, Business Meets Community. I put in agency tours here because I thought that would be a neat way learning about an organization so that perhaps when you go into the next quarter in your holiday acts of service, you know more about the organization and the needs in the community. So again, you can connect one quarter to another. PSA information. A lot of times the companies ask us for stuff to put on their internal screens, information that's timely that people need to know about. Again, at tax season, we always get out the free tax prep information. Family volunteer season, constantly reminding people about Volunteer Western New York, and most importantly, 211 Western New York. 211 is your access to every single health and human service in the whole entire community. Life happens to everyone. We all need help now and again. So having 211 forefront in everyone's mind is a great resource. And then lastly, when it comes to the campaign, there's a quarterly kind of cycle, where we have the campaign kickoff, usually in Q3 or Q4. And again, thanking our donors, and then we start all over. Build your campaign team, prep for campaign, kick it off, and then thank folks. I hope that kind of ties everything nicely in a bow for you, so it makes little sense. But reach out to your account executive. This is what we live for. We love to help you plan your community engagement throughout the year, and we're a resource for you. And again, it's not just United Way that we're bringing to you. We're bringing to you a whole network of health and human services in our community. No one agency meets all the needs of everyone, and our role at United Way is to make sure that there are no gaps in that system. So introducing you to all the amazing organizations in our community is truly our pleasure. And thank you so much for your support.